Now let's talk about the key matchups. Giants head to Ford Field to face Detroit in Week 12. The first one to look at is the Giants' rush attack against the Lions' run defense. For the Giants, they want to shorten the game. They want to hide their quarterback. To do so, they got to run the football. The Lions against Philadelphia and Saquon Barkley, they held him to 3.2 yards per carry, and on the season are allowing just 4 yards per carry. If the Lions are able to hold down the Giants' rush attack, that makes them very one-dimensional, and a one-dimensional Giants team is ugly. This matchup truly favors the Lions, but if the Giants are able to get anything going on the ground, it could open up things offensively for them to hold in there in Week 12. Another key matchup to look out for is the Lions secondary versus whoever the starting quarterback is for the Giants and their offensive weapons. Whether Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston, their offensive production has been limited. For the Lions last week against Jalen Hurts, they held him to only 135 passing yards. Now, there was a weather factor there, but both A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith didn't get chunk plays. For the Giants, without Malik Nabers, their most dynamic wide receiver, and without their best running back, they've really had issues pushing the ball down the field. With the potential return of DJ Reed and with the defensive coordinator Calvin Shepard challenging the cornerback room to support the running game more, the Lions have an opportunity to dominate this matchup. Another big matchup in this one will be the Lions' rush attack against this Giants' run defense, and that's really been their biggest weakness so far in 2025. Now, the Lions have struggled in their run game. It's been up and down over the last several weeks, but with Jahmyr Gibbs, he is always a home run threat. And between Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they're going to want to get back to the bread and butter of what they do best, and that typically is their run game. The offensive line to kind of rebuild and reshape, kind of recoup from what they were in Week 11, are going to want to get to pounding the rock here in Week 12. And I think that's going to lend itself to the Lions' rush attack, and that really may be the biggest matchup here in Week 12. The biggest key matchup in Week 12, Lions and Giants, has to be the Lions' offensive line versus the Giants' pass rush. And this is really the entire ball game for Detroit. The Giants can still get after it. Their defensive front can put pressure on. They're quick, they're bendy, and they're explosive. For the Lions last week against Philadelphia, they were not able to protect Jared Goff, especially on the interior of the offensive line. It's been proven that Jared Goff can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league when clean, but one of the worst when under heavy pressure. So if the Lions can get back to protecting their quarterback, they might be able to restabilize this and look like the offense looked back in Washington.